How'd they do that?
Changing the way like stats, how you get stats and whatnot.
Very
Like,
interesting.
If you buy mana and mana regen items or something, like it gives you more health instead or something like that. And health regen instead.
Tell me more about that.
I don't know.
Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about Brian Quintato. So this one's a pretty big, everyone knows about this one. This is one of the biggest scandals that everyone has covered. This one is we all remember waking up Saturday mornings and turning on our TVs and seeing Brian Quintato's smiling face and it's just such a damper to know that, his scandal ended in such a horrible way. So, let's get to it.
Warwick is just doing everything better. Also, I don't understand. It's so tilting.
So now we have some testimonials from some of Brian's great friends about some of what he was going through during this time and just some of the scandal from the inside.
Man, well, I really don't know where to start. Brian, he was one of my best friends, and what's crazy about Brian is when you're with him, he gives you like a sense of happiness, and he's just always a happy guy and always willing to play games and have fun, but there's just a whole nother side that everybody knows about now. And when we see that side, it makes us feel like that's not Brian, that's someone else. How could this loving and passionate guy that just wants to have fun be so different?
A bad man. A good man. I've known Brian Potatoes for a few months now, and to watch him turn from a friend to someone who would punch all of his walls is incredibly frightening.
So now we're going to go into some of the history of Brian Quintato. So everybody knows Brian Quintato from the show I Can't Get Mad that aired on Disney Channel back in the 90s, the early 90s. So everybody knows Brian Quintato from that. That's where he had his big shootout to fame, and where, most people, when they picture Brian Quintato, they remember him as a young lad on the show I Can't Get Mad on Disney Channel. So that's where his origin is from. He received quite the blow up from that. He was one of the top stars in the world at the time once that came into airing. He was one of the big three of the Disney Channel. You have Demi Lovato, you have Selena Gomez, and then of course you have Brian Quintato, and that's just the rankings. Everybody knows that. That's just how it is. So that's some of the history on Brian. So now we're going to go into kind of what happened and what changed and what really happened in this story. So I believe it was early 2020 when Brian Quintato found a new game that he liked to play called League of Legends. Now, for most people, this wouldn't change anything. This wouldn't do anything. But Brian Quintato was a little bit different. You see, he actually loved this game. And not only he loved it, he also hated this game. But here's the thing, the game hated him back. So Brian's anger, his temper, it really shot out when he played this game. He really could not control himself when he played League of Legends. This caused his family to have to move a couple times to a couple different houses due to the amount of times he would punch the wall and just break the wall completely. They had to move at least 5 times is what most people think, including myself. So early one morning, Lisa walks in, and Brian has just, of course, obliterated his wall. Lisa, being his then girlfriend, walks in and she says, "Brian, this is the last time we're going to move houses. This is the last straw." And so she says, "Brian, it's me or the game." Brian, in a look of shock and anger and disgust, looks at Lisa and he says, get in the car right now. Now, this leads to one of the most infamous chases. This is even more infamous than the OJ chase that happened, back in the day. This is the biggest chase that has ever happened because this one was so dear to our hearts, and it was so crushing that what happened that day. We all didn't believe it when he got in that car and he was running from the cops and he started driving towards the lake. We didn't believe it then, but Brian's last words were when the cops were chasing him down the road and he was driving into the lake, he said, "If only Rangar was as good as Warwick, I would have never done this." Well, thanks guys for watching. This has been Swag Power's channel. You know how we love going over the scandals here. You know how we love doing this. This is what our channel is born to do. Our channel has been growing consistently with your support, and we thank you for that. We love the constant support that we've been getting. So don't forget to like, subscribe, hit all the buttons, hit all the punching things, whatever you got to do it. You just do it right now. Thank you so much. Swaggy out.
It's so tilting.